How to score maximum marks in theory subject? That is one main concern of every CA student. So students, in this video, I'm going to discuss how you can score more than 80%, more than 80 marks in CA law. If you're watching my video for the first time, I am CA Preeti Agarwal and I make videos specially for you. Do subscribe to your channel Theory Masters Learning and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications for such important videos. Many of you had requested for a video on roadmap for studying CA Foundation and CA Interlaw. Students, I'm going to cover this topic in two parts. In the first part of this video, I'm going to discuss the strategies that you can adopt for scoring maximum marks in law. In the second part of the video, I'm going to discuss proper paper presentation, which will ensure that you get best marks in CA law. Students, whenever you sit to study, please ensure that you are studying from a good study material. So you can use the study material provided by the CA Institute. It is very good. It covers all the topics with examples and questions, or you can go for any extra study material. So first, always keep a good study material with you. Whenever you sit to study, sit on a proper chair. Don't lie down on the bed, and have proper lighting, proper ventilation at the place where you sit to study. Whenever you sit to study, please ensure that you have a pencil, a pen, an eraser, and a highlighter with you. And this is how I used to study. I used to always keep blank pages. These are rough pages. I used to always keep blank rough pages with me, and I would keep on writing the keywords on those rough sheets of paper. So you read a provision, you underline, you highlight, you must have recollected something which was discussed during the classes, or you must have seen some video, you liked a particular point, you note down. So make your own notes in the textbook itself and keep on writing the important points on that rough piece of paper. In the similar manner, you can also start preparing last minute revision notes in the first reading itself. So students, you have to invest a lot of time. You have to take a lot of effort during the first reading. So underline the keywords, analyze and identify the keywords, keep on writing those keywords. The only way to remember law, the only way to remember any theory subject is to write and practice. Okay, so writing and practicing, that is the only way to scoring maximum marks. Now, after you have studied the material, then you go through the past exam questions, mock test papers, RTPs, and there is a lot of other material, extra material which is available. Solve as many papers as you can, and this will ensure that you score more than 80 in your CA examination. Now you can follow this technique not only for law but for all other theory subjects, and you may also be having theory in the practical subjects like costing, FM, accounting. Try to make your own notes. The notes which you make in your own handwriting are very, very easy to remember, and you will remember that till exam. So trust your photographic memory and make notes. Don't wait for the portion to get over. Don't wait for the last minute to prepare last minute revision notes. If you have time, ensure that you invest that time in preparing notes. Studying for 8 to 10 hours minimum is the requirement to passing any subject in the first attempt. So prepare a proper timetable and follow that timetable. You can make changes, you can make amendments in that, but ensure that you study for at least 8 to 10 hours every day till your exam. As far as solving questions are concerned, pick up any 5 questions from your study material, write and practice. You need not write the entire answer, but it is sufficient if you at least write down the pointers. Students, whenever you pick up any theory or practical questions, don't see the answer directly. First, try to find out the pointers which you would have written in the exam. So write down those pointers and then check your answer with the model answer. You may put many hours in studying, but everything depends on your performance in those 3 hours of examination. So let us go through a few tips which I can give you for proper paper presentation. The second and the most important part is paper presentation. See students, studying and preparing for the exam is just half of the work done. The most important part happens in those 3 hours of examination, how you write and attempt the paper. Many a time students ask me, ma'am, is handwriting important? Yes, of course it is important, because when I check papers, of students, I go through the papers which they have sent in our test series. So when I go through the paper, I like checking papers which have need handwriting. The paper presentation is very good and it helps me to assess the check the paper very quickly. So, students, your handwriting is very important. But I know you are at a stage wherein you cannot improve your handwriting now, but at least you can try. Now, what to do for students who do not have a very beautiful handwriting? Try to space out the words and try to use paragraphs and leave a line after each paragraph. Okay, so start leaving line after every main paragraph or after main explanation. So this will ensure that your paper looks neat. And yes, I agree that the paper is very lengthy. It's not possible to maintain that same handwriting till the end. But that also can be solved by practicing more and more, attempting more and more papers before the exam. So, students, paper presentation is very, very important, and you can still work on it by writing maximum test papers before your main examination. Now, the first tip which I would like to give you in paper presentation and how to write the answer is that in case of questions which are based on a situation, okay, something like a case study based question. Now, this type of question is asked in CA Foundation as well as CA Inter. So, what we are going to discuss is going to remain the same. It's common for students who are in Foundation, Inter, and even Final. Now, whenever you have a case study based question, always divide your answer into 3 paragraphs. Now, if you go through the suggested answers given by the institute, this format is followed by the institute also. There is another format, there is another alternative which I will discuss with you. But according to me, this is the best because you don't have to think what to write. In the first paragraph, you will write down the section number. I'll just make a note over here. You will write down the section number, case law, if any. Okay, so it's not compulsory that every question will have a case law. So you will start by writing the section number and you will also mention that this section is of the respective act. Okay, so you have to write the name of the act also. So section 27 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, or you can say as per the provisions of section 27 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Now, first thing is write the section number in the first paragraph. Then you can write down the case law, provided there is a case law applicable, relevant case law applies to that question. If there's no case law, don't write. Then you will write only and only theory, the relevant provisions in the first paragraph. In the second paragraph, you will discuss the question, you will write it in brief. The examiner is not interested in knowing the question again, in reading the facts again. So you will just write sufficient facts which will help you to arrive at the solution. Okay. So in the second paragraph, you will start by mentioning the case or discussing the question in brief. Don't copy the question again. And you will arrive at the solution. In the last paragraph, you will write conclusion. Okay, so this is the fourth point. And in the last paragraph, you will mention conclusion. So this is one way of attempting the answers, the practical question. All right. Now, there are few students who tell me that, ma'am, instead of doing this, can we prepare a table? Or, maybe we can divide the paper into 2 parts, and on the left hand side, can we write section number, provision, case discussion, applicable section, or, applicable provisions, then case discussion, then solution and conclusion. Can we give headings and then write a few points in that heading? Yes, you can follow that format also. So in that case, on the left hand side, I'll just add another page. So in that case, your answer will be in this manner. So you will write down the section number. All right. So on the left hand side, you can write down the section number. And you can write down the section number. Then you can write down the case law. Yes, you can write down the case law. If there is a case law, then you may write down the provisions. Give any heading of your choice. And then you can write down the case or the question. After this, solution, and conclusion, something of this sort. Yes, you can follow this format. But my only concern is, students, that are you sure that in every question, every case-based question, you will be able to follow this format, decide in the exam that this is the provision I want to write, this is the case law I want to write, this is the solution, this is how I want to write. Will you be able to manage all this in the exam? Sometimes the time does not allow us to do so. But if you follow the paragraph rule, then in that case, you need not think how to divide the answer and what to write where. So according to me, yes, you can follow the second format also, but the first one which I discussed with you, that's an easier method, and you need not think what to place where. Okay. You may follow the second format only if you have a lot of practice and you know what is to be written under which heading. Okay. So paper presentation first, and the most important thing is how to write the answer. Students, note the second point, that follow this format for every question. Don't keep changing the format. Okay, make it very easy for the examiner to check your paper. How to write theory questions. Okay, how to attempt theory questions. So this is a theory question. You will write it in point format. Okay, please don't put bullet pointers. Please don't put arrows. Write 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. So divide the answer into points. Okay, break it into points. Leave a line after each point. Okay, so that your paper looks neat. Underline the heading. Underline the heading. The third thing which I want you to pay attention to is underlining the keywords. See how I've highlighted. You need not use a highlighter. Don't use a highlighter. I have, purposely so that for discussion, you know what are the keywords that you need to highlight. So please don't use a highlighter. You can underline the keywords with a pen. Now this we had discussed earlier also, wherein I was discussing how to study. So underline the keywords in your answer. Make it very easy for the examiner to check your paper. Okay. Now don't keep on underlining every word. The legal terms, the legal words which you feel are very important for that particular question, underline those. As an examiner, I always like checking papers when the words are underlined, because nobody has the time to check your paper at leisure. There is very limited time given for a particular paper, so make it very easy for the examiner to check your paper. Always start the answer with section number. Impress the examiner. If you know the section numbers, impress the examiner by writing the section number. Now, if you want to score more than 80 marks in the theory paper, in law paper, you will have to take extra efforts. See, nothing comes free of cost. If you take effort, only then you will be able to score more than 80 marks in the exam. So what is the extra effort which you will take to score maximum marks in this subject? Please go through all the section numbers every day. Now, it's not possible, ma'am. We can't go through all the section numbers. So go through 10 section numbers every day till the exam. Now, to help you with this, I am leaving a link in the description box. There is a free download of all the section numbers of Contract Act, Partnership, Sale of Goods Act, Companies Act, LLP, and I've also highlighted the section numbers which I feel are important for exam. At least by heart those section numbers. See, if you want to score maximum marks, your paper should be different from others. And section number is something which will make your paper different from the others, and that will compel the examiner to give you more marks. So yes, writing section numbers, not maybe in all the questions, but in most of the questions, will definitely help you to get more than 80 marks in your exam. So what have we discussed up till now? Paper presentation, handwriting. Yes, it is important. Your paper should be neat. Divide it into paragraphs. Don't use fancy formats. Don't waste time. Underline the keywords, write down the section number, leave a line after each point, underline the heading. And one more important thing that I want to discuss with you students. Don't wait for your paper to get over and then you highlight the keywords. Start highlighting, start underlining the keywords as you write the answer. You can do that. You can write the answer and then underline the keywords, or you can underline it at the same time. I can underline it while writing. Don't use pencil, scale, don't use some fancy method. Underline with pen. Proceed. Paper completion is very important. Always write your answer in point format. You can use bullet points, but I would never advise my students to do that. I would always advise you to use either numbers or letters. Okay. So pay attention to paper presentation and know what to study, how to study, and I think you will be able to score more than 80 marks in exam. Students, if you have liked this video, do share, like and subscribe to your channel Theory Masters Learning, and do visit my website theorymasterslearning.com for amazing and exciting deals on various products, books and test series.